Okay. Uh-oh. So I feel like it's time to do another fashion book report. And this time we're going to talk about All's Well by Mona Award. Not Mona Award, Awad. Awad? I don't want to mispronounce her name, so hold on. Let me figure it out real quick. Get it right. Okay. Mona Awad. She's a baddie too. Okay. So we are going to talk about Fashion Book Report from All's Well. And I feel like I may say this a lot, but All's Well was literally, I don't say this statement a lot. This will probably be in my top three for the next couple of years. This book was so good. Okay, so when I first heard about it, I saw this from a girl who recommended it, and she told us, or her audience, that we should go into it not knowing anything. So I was like, I don't know about that. But go into it knowing anything, but don't do that because I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. So essentially, Mona is, not Mona, Miranda is a professor and she is trying to put on the Shakespeare play All's Well that ends well, and she just feels like her students don't want to do it and they really want to put on Macbeth and like rebelling against her. And in the process of all of this, back when she was an actress, she fell and she's hurt, right? Her back hurts, her legs hurt, and nobody believes her until one day she enters a bar, meets some people, and the book just kind of takes off from there. And if you feel like I did not give the book justice, which I may not have, reply, like put it in the comments, like what you think is a better way to say that. But that's essentially what it talks about. It is a fabulous, fabulous novel. I'm on a kick. I just read Bunnies too, so Bunnies is next. And essentially, when you think about it, think about Black Swan. Yeah, that's the vibe it gives me. It gives me Black Swan. So all in all, I really rate this book maybe like a 4.5 out of 5. I would definitely reread this. Like I would read it again. I would tell other people to read it. I did hear a lot of comments about it being funny. I There were some parts that were funny. It was more like a dark humor type of funny. Like you really have to be reading the book, and I don't want to say no literature, but you kind of have to. It's not that upfront kind of funny like somebody makes a joke, ha ha ha. Nah, I'm laughing at it. It's not that type of funny. But all in all, All's Well is a great book. Twists and turns, yes, but you'll definitely finish reading this and be like this is the book you read and then instantly go to Reddit. You instantly need to find people that have read this book so you can have a conversation about it. It's giving that. That's the synopsis of this book. And that's really why I loved it so much. I personally like dark books. I like things that like have twists and turns, and I really don't know what's going on until I get to the end of the book, and that's what this gives. But that's not why you're here. Well, it should be why you're here because hot girls read. But let's go over the fashions and what I think each character is, be a brand, and what they would wear, blah, blah, blah. And I have it on my iPad because I made a note because last time I did this, I did yellow face, and you guys, I literally forgot everything. So, Miranda, the main girl, the main woman, I'm sorry, the professor, she used to be an actor. She's hurt. Her back hurts. Her legs hurt. She can't move. And really, trigger warning, nobody believes her. Like, everybody's like, girl, okay, like, you can get up. Like, you can send the third, women not believing. People not believing women when it comes to medical things. That's nothing new that we haven't seen before. But this book, Like I said, top three, top three, top three. Because I don't want to give too much away. I really don't want to give too much away. But at the very end of this, I think I'm gonna do like a spoiler. So, so anyway, Miranda. First thing first, Vivian. Vivian Westwood. She's in like Vivian Westwood, Love Shack Fancy, Marco Rubaldi, but only his spring 2024 collection, but like softer vibes. So really that like
And kids, this is why we write stuff down. Because literally, it's just Dolora Fondigo. That,
that dark
that
romance
is who
type of feel,
Miranda is.
right?
And if you
So
know, you
blacks
know. If you
and
don't, go
lace,
find
but
out.
like black lace, but something that's still very dark, but still very romantic. So like fabrics, like soft fabrics, like our linens, our chiffons, or organzas that really romanticize the moment, but still are somewhat dark. Oh, and that daisy flower dress that she wears at the end literally gives me Courtney Dolce and Gabbana vibes. Like that wedding, that would be that dress. Like it would be something that's so romantic and so what's the like I want to say airy. Like something that's so not like you can tell like it's just not here. Like it's just not the fabrics are like draped and they're beautifully laid, but there's something still dark about it, right? There's something that still has this like, girl, I don't know about you. The clothes got something like, oh girl, I don't know how we got here, but we here. She would get one of those vibes, and then somehow make it professional. You know what I'm saying? Like make it mm, but like close it in and make it professional, right? That's what she gives me. Very dark main character energy, but head in the clouds, like head in the clouds. And that's the type of fabrics and the type of brand that I would give her because Vivian Westwood for the grungy look, right? For that grungy, like heavy look. And then something that's still so romantic, right? But she's a professor. So we say all that to say, don't drop the mic. But we say all that to say that eventually it would have to be so dumbed down that I think I would, for professional wise, I probably would like a color palette for her, right? But she's the type of person that as the book moves and as her character arcs, it would be obvious via her clothes, right? So you have some characters in books and some characters in movies that I think like mentally they change, but outwardly their appearance stays the same. So you don't necessarily track it like that. Miranda, Miranda, mm-mm. Her whole appearance needs to change as soon as she goes through a mental shift. Everything needs to change, right? So she may start off really like drabby, the professional, and then as time goes on and yeah, as the book goes on, her outfits definitely need to change with it. Okay, so next is her bestie Grace, which is an adjacent professor with her. She helps with theater. She's like her assistant director. I can't really think of her actual title right now. But Grace, listen, I don't mean to sound mean when I say this, but whatever is on sale at Dick's Sporting Good, that is what Grace got on. Whether it be LL Bean or Patagonia or North Face, that whole outdoorsy type of feel, that's she gives very much masculine energy. That's the very first thing. Very masculine energy in the beginning. Those who know, in the beginning, mask energy. Period. In the very beginning, mask energy. As the book goes on, who knows? If I had to give her like a brand, maybe Sports Max. Like maybe something like that, but something very athletic out.
Athletic isn't the word. Androgynous is the word that I'm searching for. So like I would also probably do like Y2, but Sport Max was the first thing that came
Doors. Like if I
to
had to
my
give her like a
mind.
high
But
fashion brand,
not like their
right? If she
recent
just came
collections,
into
more of like
Nordstrom or
their
whatever,
outerwear,
Bloomingdale's, and she
more
was like, I need
androgynous looks.
something high fashion right now, I would just probably direct her to Sports Max, right? So then we have the three men she meets at the bar, right? I don't want to give no spoilers, but they are Tom Ford down. Okay, they're Tom Ford down. They are in black suits. I think one of them, and if you know, you know, one of them is in a YSL suit, open button. YSL suit, open button, right here. They all have on black sunglasses. They all have on sunglasses. They all have on hats. One of them, maybe not. One of them, he's not that polished of a person. So there would be definitely variation in who they are as characters via what they wear on the outside. Like, for example, like what I just said. Everybody may have on a black suit, but one person's buttons undone. One person's a little bit more sloppy. His shirt's untucked. Right? One person is Tom Ford, but it's ill fitting. That that's what they are. But they're Tom Ford suits, hand down. Who's next on the list? Brianna. Oh, Brianna. Brianna's Lululemon down. Okay, whatever you see the trendy little college girls wearing, that's what she's wearing to the utmost level, right? She's the wealthy one. That's what she's wearing. She's the wealthy, trendy student. She is Helen in Macbeth. So main character energy, of course. I'm sorry, not Macbeth. Helen in all's well that ends well. Um, but hold on. Nah, I'm sorry. She's Helena from All's Well That Ends Well. Helena, Helena. Helena, that is her character from All's Well That Ends Well. Main character energy, all that type of stuff. I mean, rich girl energy. Main character, probably not. But whatever those girls, E. Newton, all that type of stuff, that's what she has on. That's if my iPad wants to work, that's definitely what she has on. Reformation, like all of those I don't want to say teeny boppers, but all of those like high end fashion brands where people think that they're into high end fashion, but really they're just being sold polyester at a higher price point. She's that girl. We all know him, and that's okay. And that's okay. She just got money, and anything she thinks costs a lot of money. She thinks it's of good quality, and it's just not. The real people who study the shit, who know the fashion, they know she don't. So that's what she gives. Um, Ellie, Ellie, Ellie definitely gives early 2000 maximalist grudge. Like essentially whatever. So however I would base Ellie based off of Miranda. So if Miranda had a progression, right? She had a progression to what she was doing. I would take one of those progressions and like let's say she goes from boring, edgy, soft, and then edgy again. I would probably take that edgy and expand upon it. So I would take one of her looks, give it to Ellie in a knockdown version, like a college version, and then expand upon it. And that would be Ellie's wardrobe. But from reading it, she definitely gives me early 2000s a maximalist grudge a little bit. She's witchy. She's a witchy girl. She's a little witchy, but that's definitely what she gives me. Hold on, hold on. Ellie is Zuli Bet down. Ellie is Zuli Bet. That's her brand. That is her. That's how I imagine Ellie in my mind. right? She's weird and maybe not so maximalist because she's a shy character. She's shy. And so maybe not so maximalist, but that's definitely the brand that I would give her. So that's your fashion book report for All's Well, a terrific book. And get it, read it, tell me what you think. It is a great book. Okay, so now we're talking about spoilers. Pause. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So, what happened at the end? Honestly, truly. So, essentially, if you don't care about spoilers, what's going on is Miranda meets these three men at a bar. They tell her, you know what, you drank this potion. I don't want to say potion because that makes it seem so fantasy, and it's not fantasy. It's definitely something that you feel like is based in reality, is here right now, right? So they have her drink this gold drink, go to the bar, drink this gold drink, and she feels better, right? But then over time, the people that she has interacted with, she kind of pushes her condition off on them, right? So there's Mark, this her physical therapist, who she feel like is making her worse. So he's giving her like an exercise, and as she's doing it, she puts this energy off, and then he is stuck, right? He's stuck. He don't know what's going on, and these three men are essentially the devil. Like she essentially is making a deal with the devil. And there's so many hallucinations that she has within this book that I think that's the part that got me, is as I was reading it, I was like, that couldn't have just happened. And I'm like, oh, this girl is crazy. And that's why it gives Black Swan a little bit. Like those, like that performance, not performance anxiety, but that performance that she has, that she's just so disconnected from the real world. And okay, so that's what happens. And then we get to this point, and there's still, at one point, I'm all over the place because I'm just like, oh my gosh. Um, the guy that she likes ends up falling in love with her, but it's so random. And she was like, he's never seen me before, right? Because in the beginning, as dark and as mysterious as she is, it's still very like bleh. Like, right, man. If I would still give her like grays, like nothing too extravagant in the beginning, and then as time goes on, right, we look a little bit different, we look a little bit better. And she so yeah, he ends up liking her, and then they end up going on dates and like having sex, but she gets so, like she pushes the pain off on people and then almost like enjoys it back. So like very rough, intimate moments, like, and he's uncomfortable. He's like, girl, I'm gonna kill you. But it's because whatever they gave her, she's slowly becoming dark, right? And remember the part where she thinks she kills Grace. She thinks she kills Grace because Grace didn't believe her. And at the beginning, they did in their friendship, but towards the end, Grace is like, girl, like ain't nothing wrong with you. And essentially, Grace gets what she has, and like they're paralyzed or whatever. And how she treats Grace and how they interact, and then her this psychotic break that she has at the end, where that was crazy when she oh my gosh, when I just got so like when she is sleeping on the beach, when she's sleeping on the beach, and then from the beach she goes to school, she goes to work, and the kids are like, girl, are you okay? Like you're walking around here soaking wet, seaweed in your hair, looking like this ocean monster. Like, babes, what is going on? And for that, she should definitely have like a Dixie print. But oh my gosh! And then at the very end, when they're like, she's haunted by them saying, "Oh, you have to have a good show. You have to have a good show." So in the back of my mind, in the back of her mind, this man is saying, um, "Just give us a show. Just give us a show. Just give us a show." And she starts to hallucinate, and in real time, all these people show up, and I wonder if those are just the people that like sold their soul to the devil at some point. But essentially, all of these people show up, and she is just so over. She goes to the black box, which, if you don't know what the black box is, you have your main theater when you work in theater, and then there's this smaller part called the black box. So this is your auditorium, and like your black box may be over here, and that may be either where you have classes, or you'll have like rehearsals, or like smaller theater programs. Like that's usually where when they block things out, they usually do it in the black box. It's just smaller. It's smaller than the actual theater, right? So it's like we don't have enough people to go to this actual auditorium when we're talking about theater and plays and musicals, but we can go to the black box, right? It's maybe for special previews, whatever people decide to do with them. But most theaters have them, if not all theaters have them. So they go to the black box. And she's like performing solo in the black box, but she thinks she's actually on stage. And then she gets on stage, and y'all, she falls again at the very end. So she kind of like repeats this pattern. And these men, they call themselves doctors. Those three men at the end, they call themselves the doctors. And they are like, "You didn't give us a ride. You didn't give us you didn't give us what we wanted." And then pops up, and Grace is better. Grace is like, "Oh, let's go to this bar," and this, which is the bar where the golden drink is. "Let's go over here and let's in the third." I thought that was a very chaotic speech, but I need to read it again. This book was A1. So go read it. Toodles, girls.